boys and girls, good evening. I am honored to be standing here representing the graduating class of 2018. And on behalf of all the graduates, I would like to thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. We are at that junction in our lives where as a group, we will no longer be traveling together, but take separate routes or destinations. It is a bittersweet moment for us, but the memories we have forged thus far will indeed keep us connected. Our theme for our graduation is Making a Mark is Leaving a Legacy. It is indeed a quite fitting theme for this class as we have etched our marks on RJHS in so many different ways. Various schools of thought define the word legacy, and one such states that preserving and creating a legacy becomes the work of a lifetime. Hence, it cannot be forged quickly. That lifetime has started with this batch of students. We are the first batch of students to have two distinctions, an academic legacy set in motion. First batch to be able to call and form a band right now, a music legacy. First batch with many aspiring basketball players. To add to it, this 2018 class has many student leaders, such as prefects, Red Cross members, club and house leaders, student council, peer counselors, peer educators, and the list goes on. Aren't we indeed leaving a mark? Now, let's turn our attention to this group of pace setters on the stage. Class of 2018, the Legacy Leavers. I will make mention of just a few in the interest of time, but remember, this group is filled with talent. I shall begin with Brienne Gardner, our dependable student leader who ably led the student council and the prefect body among other leading roles in the institution. Amid all her responsibilities, today she is graduate with distinction from this institution. Next is Mr. Joshua St. Michael Magoo, an all-round student, naturally brilliant, naturally talented, our own Mr. Carib, the saxophonist, male model, and a student leader. Joshua, though challenged by painful situations, excelled amidst the crisis, etching his mark at this institution. Next, we have Mr. Nikito Balbuena. Even with his passion for basketball, played, but was not distracted, and today he is graduating with credit as the top alpha student. Give it up for Nikito Balbuena. Another unassuming student is Mr. Jarrell Smith. He is the only trombone player among us and has represented the school more than once as a member of the cadet corps. Though electronics is not a subject at this institution, that does not prevent us from doing well, for we have Melchizedek Saint-Fleurant, who can fix just about any issue with any gadget. Then there is Miss Lexiana Stubbs, our vocalist and vocalist G&D, as she is a character known in these parameters for her boldness. This batch of students is also leaving a fond memory of their participation in sports for people like Jean Sotout, who has the legs of a gazelle when he's on the track. Each student on this platform has his or her own specialty that, if given the chance to, I would love to elaborate upon. I also must say that I'm extremely grateful and proud to be associated with this talented group. However, we had the help of teachers, our challengers, cheerleaders, and guides. Take, for instance, Mr. Thomas, and our math teacher and tower of up in the track and field program. We have never seen him running fast, but he manages to get excellence out of the track and field team. Though we evidently frustrate him in mathematics class when he asks difficult math questions, we will just sit there looking at him blankly. He will ask, "What is wrong with this class?" And we will just burst out in laughter. But if you know him, you know exactly why we would be laughing. Now, when the stressors of life fall upon us, we run to no other than Mrs. Lewis, a mother figure with a fiery and uplifting spirit, one who has been present in many of our weakest moments. She is gifted with admirable interpersonal skills. I cannot think of any student on this platform who have not run to her for either academic problems, interrelational problems, money problems, academic problems, among others. While Mrs. Lewis was the mother figure for us, for most of us, Mr. Yu was the father figure, as he took on the form teacher role, guiding us, counseling us, and lighting up dull moments for us over the past 2 years. Alongside Mr. Yu was Ms. Bowman, our form supervisor, and Ms. Anderson, 5 Alpha's form teacher. We blossomed under their watch. Also, from a personal perspective, I want to thank Ms. Anderson for giving my life a deeper meaning and substance. Ms. Andy, I will always admire you. Time will not permit me to state all the teachers, but I must mention Mr. Lewis, for it is because of his dedication to the choir, Ben, and us as individuals why we are leaving able to play an instrument or two. The excursions we took with Miss Patel, Señorita de Español, gracias. Thanks to every single teacher who taught us from Form 1 through 5. We appreciate you. I strongly believe that the bond we have formed with our teachers will never be broken. Now, to complete this batch of awesomeness is this petite girl that is speaking to you right now, Lea-Beima Dorestin. By God's favor and mercy, I am the other of the 2 persons graduating with distinction from the Women Garden High School thus far. I remember when I first came to Turks and Caicos Islands some years ago. The language barrier was so adverse, everything was just sign language for me. But I had the will to do better. So I read, I studied, prayed, and did all I could to prepare myself for success. I thank God that He has blessed me, and today I am honored and grateful to be delivering this message. I have had challenges, but I got needed support from family, friends, teachers, and well-wishers. But God is my rock, and I thank Him for seeing me through. The journey through high school was not easy. There were times when I felt like I was caving under the workload of pressure of school, but I made it. The academics, the extracurricular activities, and my strong belief in God all helped to shape me into a better person. In one's journey, there are some places we must mention, and one for me is Miss Sinclair Musgrove. She has given me numerous opportunities to showcase my God-given talent, and also my Whitney people, my church Whitney people, especially Sister Forbes, who has never turned down any of my requests for baking for any bakes I had at the school. And also Miss Mala and Mrs. Moyalik. These 2 ladies have made my life as a naturalist so much easier. Whenever I was going anywhere, they always gave me a dazzling hairstyle. And to my Haitian folks from the school and the community, for ones I love dearly. And last but not least, my parents. I remember when books became my pillows. Mommy would be the one to move them and fix me on the bed properly. When I would get up in the morning and wouldn't want to eat, Mommy would be there to feed me. Every single morning before Daddy goes to work, he would get up and make breakfast and make sure my shoes were as shiny as a military personnel. As I was rushing from the room, Daddy would come in my room, stand there and feed me, making sure that I ate something before I left. Mommy, Daddy, thank you, and I want you to know that I love you dearly. And to everyone who has helped me, I thank you. I stand here as a voice for all the graduates this evening, giving thanks to all, for all the excursions that were undertaken, the PTA's efforts within the school under the presidency of Mrs. Barbara Gardner, all the teachers and members of staff, all the food providers, all the sponsors that the school received help from, the groundsmen and cleaners, and it all happened under the jurisdiction of Mrs. Janet Walken and Mr. Anthony Hessler, the 2 administrators of this institution. We thank you for all you've been doing to make sure we have a good education under your management. We are forever grateful, and God will not overlook the reward for your labor. As Proverbs 13 verse 22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. Each of us has inherited something amazing, but it is up to us to work on it. This class is leaving a path of academic legacy, sports legacy, music legacy, and poetic legacy. And by God's grace, through God's strength, we will never stop proclaiming His name, for He has taken us far. And I want you all to remember to put God first. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Lea-Beima, graduating.